Здравейте, аз съм Вили и тук с мен е един много специален гост, тъй като сме в пълна подготовка за едно невероятно парти днес. Карл Кокс и Джон Рандъл в Зимния дворец в София. Изключително много се притеснявам и изключително много се радвам този човек да седи до мен. Представям ви господин Carl Cox. Hi Carl, how are you feeling today?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very happy to be here, of course.
Yeah, like we discussed, it's been 2 years since you last came here and the Bulgarians are totally on fire. I don't know if you're aware what the response is for the party, but it's absolutely immense like never before. Are you excited for tonight?
I'm very excited. You know, every time I come to Bulgaria, every time I come and play here in Sofia, it feels like I'm coming home. You know, it feels like people has missed me playing here over the years, and for me, it's I feel like one of the children that's gone missing. You know, for 2 years and gone travelling. You know, and then I'll come back and then every time it's like a celebration for me. But I've had such a great response being here. You know, playing it for many years, and people still come and they still want to support my music and they still want to get behind what I do as a DJ, and it's really nice to be able to come back to do that.
Yeah, I can definitely tell you from a fan point of view, you're definitely one of the most loved artists over here.
Thank you. I mean, it's kind of nice because when I do play in different countries, you can always tell the Bulgarians. They always go crazy. Oh, Carl, we're from Bulgaria, yeah. You know, it's great.
Oh, that's perfect. Techno is growing thanks to these guys from Metropolis. Techno, it's really, really big, and it's always been big in Bulgaria. So you are a part of a family, and we're really happy that you come back again and again and again.
Thank you.
You've been working with music since you were 15 years old. I wanted to ask you, who's Carl Cox when he was 15 and who is Carl Cox today when it comes to music?
Yeah, I mean, me at 15 years old, I mean, I was obviously very interested in girls, football, going out, dancing, coming home late, you know, not telling my parents where I was going. So I was very adventurous in my years. I was always on my push bike, you know, and eventually I got a motorbike. But music was always something that I was fascinated by. Music was always something that I went out to go listen to by other DJs playing from very early days. I was collecting music from, I think, the age of 10, when my father was taking me to the record store and he was buying the music, and then therefore I'd be interested to see what he bought, and then I could go hear something else and I'd say, Dad, check this record out, and he'd be like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, no, this is James Brown, man, you know, you should buy him, you know, and my dad would be like, oh, okay, and then he'd put the record on, he'd be like, yeah, that's a good choice, you know. I loved it, you know, I loved the fact that I was able to find my own way with the music, and for me, I was just one of these people or kids growing up at that time that was interested in lots of things, but everything channeled down into one thing, and that was just me performing music to people that enjoyed my selection of what I believe to be the best music.
Do you still keep that collection that you've been collecting since you were 10?
I'd still have my collection. It goes right back to 1968, and all the vinyl that I've collected, it goes all the way through until 2007. So I have probably around about 150,000 pieces of vinyl in my collection, which takes up the double garage of where it is in Australia. And when you open the garage, all you can see is racks and racks of music that I've been collating over the years. It's my history, my life history right there. It's not on a laptop, it's not in an MP3 a hard drive or anything. It's there in the flesh, you know. Every record I more or less went and bought for my money that I earned is in the history of my collection, and for me it's a part of my life, you know. If I ever lost that collection, it would be like me losing a part of my soul.
Oh, wow, that's an impressive treasure right there. And since it's been so many years, how do you still excite yourself with music? How do you keep it fresh? How do you, I don't know, how do you keep yourself entertained?
I know, I mean, some people think that I have some sort of special fairy dust, you know. It keeps me young and full of vigor and energy. I think because I'm so involved in the music, and then I've been at the forefront of the music for many years and been able to steer the ship of where I believe the music should go, it's a nice I would say, attribute to have. It's a certain amount of power that I have that I'm able to do this. But also, I know if there's a good record that I can get behind and I can play and I can share that with everyone else, that's what makes me happy. Really, in a sense of that I know that I've touched people with the music that I love. And for me, that's what I kind of aim for. My goal in the end of the day is to be able to have the ability to do this to others. And every day I feel very honoured and blessed that I have this ability to do that as an individual. So, you know, I like it. I like the position that I'm in. It's a very responsible position where if you book Carl Cox to play, and then you know you're going to more or less have the best time possible. And for me, because I've always been the person that goes out, that's what I would like to have myself. So I understand what it's like for a punter to be in front of me, because that's what I used to be like when I was young myself.
Yeah, like we mentioned, you're basically in a position to actually set the direction that people are looking at when it comes to music. Is this what Music is Revolution is all about?
It is, yeah. I mean, the revolution for me was basically for anyone to believe in what you're doing and to play what you believe in the end of the day, which goes against everything else. You don't have to follow fashion. You don't have to follow the style of what everyone else is doing. Create your own path and create your own destiny, and why not? And if you believe in that, and then other people will hopefully follow your path of what makes you who you are. And we don't want to create a revolution, but the idea of standing up for your right, for the right music to be heard, I think is important for the scene to be able to carry on as long as it has. I mean, I've been involved in, you know, electronic dance music, now EDM, or call it what you like, for 28 years. There was no EDM in 28 years ago. There was electronic music. But in the end of the day, as far as I was concerned, everything is techno, everything is house music, everything is garage or whatever you want it to be. In the end of the day, if it makes you move and it makes you happy, and then that's music as far as I'm concerned.
So you're definitely supporting the fact that music shouldn't be divided into genres. It should be just music. Yeah,
it shouldn't be categorized at all. I mean, and the thing is, yes, you have dubstep, yes, you have drum and bass and the funk and so on, disco, but at the end of the day, it's just music. You know, someone made a certain amount of music by what they can basically utilize. So if you have a violin, music, you know, piano, ding, 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 music. And for me, it's really difficult because, you know, so many people have so many opinions on music. They hear something drum and bass and go, oh, I don't like that. But in drum and bass, there's some amazing elements within it, which is technically brilliant. It's genius. It has soul, energy. It has an element of funk to it, jazz. Exactly the same as house music, exactly the same as techno, anything. But for me, I don't really see it as just drum and bass. I see it as someone that has made an abundance of music which they believe in, which comes from their heart and soul. So if you need to categorize it, okay, drum and bass, but don't just treat it like that. You know, it's someone's interpretation of a creation of someone's soul and what they feel in the sense of what they made to other people to understand where they're coming from. And I think that's the connection of what you have with music.
I see the emotion that you talk about music with, and I do remember myself talking to other artists and other promoters saying, hey, I'm going to do an interview with Carl Cox, and everyone is like, hey, he's like the most amazing and friendly guy ever. You never hear anyone say a bad thing about Carl Cox. And how do you handle the fame and all the success that you have, and yet keep yourself so down to earth? Because really, you must be the guy with the greatest reputation out there.
Yeah, I know. It's uncanny, to be honest. You know, I kind of, I think it all stems from my father and my mother, how they raised me, you know. I mean, my roots are from the Caribbean, or Caribbean, and from Barbados, and they're really friendly, happy people. So all I've ever seen is friendly, happy people who basically transcend a positiveness to everyone else, and also I feel very honoured and blessed to be where I am. So to belittle anyone or to put anyone down or to make them feel less than they are, I think is a really bad, negative way to be. And my job as a DJ, as an entertainer, is to pick people up. You know, a lot of people go to these parties and they've had the worst day of their lives, but they come to one of my parties and they've had the best time of their lives. So, and they can go back to their jobs or go back to their families and then go, well, you know what, I've had such a good time with Carl that everything is okay. I mean, it's not everything's okay all the time, but at least for a moment in your life, it can be. And so if someone wants a picture or an autograph or just want me to say hi or shake my hand, no problem, because I think that that's really a positive way of being as a human being. I mean, for me, when I meet any of my heroes, I'm always very respectful of their space. So if I see someone that I really would like to meet, but I'm a bit kind of shy, I'm like, can I get a picture? You know, like, yeah, no problem. And then we take the picture, and I think, well, that's a longer lasting impression of who that person is like. And you get a lot of actors that are quite personable. You get a lot of actors that are not. Football players, you know, race car drivers. All depends, really, and it all depends on the situation at the time as well. You know, some people just don't want to be bothered by fans or anybody, because we're all just human in the end of the day. But I've always had time and made time as much as I possibly can for everybody, because, you know, the one time that I don't, it transcends to everyone. You know, as soon as I say you can't have a picture in Twitter, it'd be like, Carl Cox said you can't have a picture, he's horrible, and it just goes viral, and everything. Oh my God, what did I do? Did I stamp on his dog or something? You know. You know, oh my God, I only said no because I've got to catch a flight, or I'm talking to my family or something. But, you know, in the end of the day, time doesn't cost that much, you know, in the end. And if you can give a part of your time to everyone, then why not?
Perfect. And when I tell you, when you think about the party tonight, what's the first word that comes to your mind?
Energy. Energy. I remember the first time I came and played, and for Metropolis, and I was playing vinyl at the time, and big room. I think it was it was an ice skate rink. I think it was a big sports hall, and I turned it into a dance floor. Everything, big sound system.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the same venue from tonight.
It's the same venue from tonight. Yeah. So I'm gonna remember my first time there, because when I put the first record on, I couldn't even hear the first record. People were screaming and shouting, and just the adulation was so loud and so strong. I couldn't even hear if the record was playing, but it was playing, of course. And then I kind of moved the record down, the volume, and people, put the record back on again. I go doof doof. I go, okay, here we go. And I just kind of started from there and getting into the people. And it was a definite moment in my life to know that people were excited to see me, and also to know that there's something that's going to be something special. And that night certainly was. And hopefully we can replicate that again today. Yeah,
I really hope that you're going to get some nice memories from the past. And thank you so much for taking that time with us. For me, it's a real honor to have you here. And I really hope you're going to have a wonderful time today. Feel us like family, because we do feel you like family.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to cook for everybody tonight as well.
Oh, perfect. Yay.